Hi everyone. Today we are going to look at fractions, remainder of remainder. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, what is remainder of remainder? Remainder of remainder, okay, it's a concept. It's one of the concepts in fractions, and it is something where you will have, this concept is a concept where you will have to draw a model. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Now, as you can see over here at the bottom of my screen, I wrote draw a model, and the second thing you want to take note is that the word of, okay, it's a word that you need to remember well. It means to multiply. Okay, so now how to solve this? There are two steps that I will be using. The first one is to identify the word remainder. Knowing how to identify whether if that is a remainder of remainder question or if it is a part whole relationship will give you the age. What age? Okay, it helps you to know, okay, if this is a remainder of remainder question, then this is what I have to do. That means to say, I will not even think of anything that is related to part whole relationship. I will just focus on remainder of remainder. Okay, and step number 2 is to draw a model. The keywords that you have to take note would be words like remainder and remaining. Okay, now I'm going to use this question to really help you solidify, or to help me to solidify this concept. Okay, as you can see over here, Percy spent 3/5 of his money on a shirt. So what I want to do is I want to write down whatever I know, shirt equals to 3/5. And then after that, in sentence number 2, we know that 1/4 of the remainder is spent on a belt. Did Percy spend all of the money, whatever that is left, on the belt? No. Percy spent a part of what is left. That is the idea of remainder, okay? And they're asking us for what fraction of the money had he left. But before I go on to the question, what I want to do is I want to draw a model. Every time you see the word remainder, or remaining, you need to remember this concept called remainder of remainder. So what I want to do is I want to draw 5 units, shade 3 units because of the word, or because of the shirt, all right? Now, once I'm done with that, what I want to ask myself is this. What about the 1/4 of the remainder? So whatever that is over here, as you can see over here, I did not spend 2 units on belt. What did I do? I only spent 1/4 of that 2 units. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to break that 2 units into 4 parts. Okay, listen up very carefully to the words that I use. I use units first. Then when I want to break units, I will say it as parts. Okay, so as you can see over here, 1/4 of the remainder, I break that 2 units into 4 parts. 2 units into 4 parts. 2 units into 4 parts. Okay, so that I can shade 1 part to show that that is my belt. Okay, once I'm done with this, I can go on and do one thing. All right, when I do something to my right, I must do something to my left. Okay, I shouldn't have 4 parts on the right hand side and then 3 units on the left hand side. It doesn't make sense. In math, it is about making things the same. So therefore, what I want to do is I want to break everything into half. Okay, as you can see over here, so I have 2 units again, I break it into 4 parts, and the rest I will also do the same. So in total, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 parts, and the question says, what fraction of his money had he left? So simply put, this is left. So what I want to do is I want to say that the answer must be 3/10. Make your answer obvious. Don't let the teacher look for the answer. Make it obvious so that she will be able to find it. Okay, now, so that is what I want to explain to you in question number 1. Now, in question number 2, or example number 2, okay, we can see over here Joe had some money. He spent 3/7 of his money on a pair of shoes. So write down shoes equals to 3/7, and 1/4 of the remainder. Again, the word remainder pops out. So what we want to do is we want to write it down first. Okay, then after that, what can I do? I can draw a model. As you can see over here, I will shade 3/7 for shoes, and then after that, what do? I look at my model A. I realize I don't have to draw a drop-down model. Why is that so? Because just nice, I have how many units over here? 4 units, and then 1/4 of the remainder. That means 1 unit out of these 4 units, it was spent on shirt. So what I want to do, I just shade it. Okay, so whenever you have the exact amount of units, you do not have to break it down into parts. Whenever you don't have the exact amount of units, then you will have to do what I did in example number 1, which is to draw a drop-down model, or you can break it into parts. Okay, now as you can see over here, okay, of course, all of these things comes with practice. You may feel like it's a little difficult for you to comprehend, but what I want you to do is I want you to refer to the description box below. There are worksheets provided, and I want you to use those worksheets to practice. Okay, if you don't understand remainder of remainder, practice remainder of remainder. Now, as you can see over here, what did he say in sentence number 3? He spent $36 more on the shoes than the shirt. Now, but before I go on to that, I just want you to look at the right hand side of my screen. It says do not draw a model, a drop down model, because you have the exact amount of units. Okay, so remember that. Now, so let's say if I were to change from 1/4 to 2/8, then you will have to draw a drop-down model. So initially the question says 1/4, right? But let's say if I were to change this to 2/8, okay? If the questions, change to 2/8, then what happens? You don't have the exact amount, right? What you want to do, you can draw a drop-down model, or you can just divide this into parts. Okay, now, so let's go back to the question. As you can see over here, okay, what I want to show is that shoes will be 3 units, shirt will be 1 unit. And in sentence number 3, it says he spent $36 more on the shoes than on the shirt. So if shoes is 3 units and shirt is 1 unit, then the difference will be the $38, which is also equals to 2 units. So what you want to do is you do 3 units minus 1 unit equals to 2 units, and 2 units equals to $36. Always find your Mr. Green Man, which is my 1 unit, and that is $36 divided by 2, and we will get $18. Now the question says, how much was the pair of shoes? Okay, as you can see over here, shoes is basically 3 units, right? So if 1 unit equals to $18, 3 units will be equals to $18 times 3, which is equals to $54. And then now we look at the second part of the question, which is part B. All right, how much did Joe have at first? Right, so we can see that at first must be equals to 7 units in total. So if 1 unit equals to $18, 7 units will be equals to $126. And this is how you would approach a question like that. Okay, so to recap a little bit, okay, we drew 7 units, we shaded 3 units, and 1/4 of the remainder, because we have the exact amount of units, we don't have to draw a drop down, or we don't have to split it into parts. What we want to do is we just shade 1 unit. And then after that, we realize that for shoes, it's actually 3 units, shirt is actually 1 unit. Okay, therefore the difference is 2 units, and 2 units is my $36. Why is it that $36 is the difference? Because of the word more. Okay, and then after I find my Mr. Green Man, I will be able to solve A and B. All right, now example number 3, Lena has some white, black, and red buttons in her shop. Okay, there are 360 white buttons. Okay, now the thing is this, right? You know that this is a remainder of remainder question. So what you want to do, you want to draw a model first. Right? So you draw a model, but you realize that 360 white buttons, I don't know how long or how short. So what I want to do is I want to just estimate. So that's what I did. All right, I drew just 360 white buttons, and I just show that that is equals to white, and that is equals to 360. Now then they say 1/5 of the remaining buttons are black. So what I want to do, I want to draw 5 units. I shade 1 unit, and that my 1 unit is my black. And we continue reading the next sentence. And the rest of the buttons are red. That means I shade the rest of the buttons, and I show that the rest of the buttons are red. Okay, now let's go on. So there's nothing much I can do over here, right? I don't know what is 360. I don't know what is that 1 unit. I know nothing, right? So what I want to do is I want to read the next sentence. They say this is the most important, and this sentence, if you understood correctly, right, it will help you get to your answer. But if you don't understand, then you'll be stuck here. Make sense? If you understand this part, then you will get to your answer. So listen very carefully. Now, if 2/5 of the buttons are red buttons, so what they are trying to tell you, okay, is that 2/5 is red, and we can see that 2/5 is actually how many units? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we want to do is we want to say that 2/5 equals to 4 units. If 2/5 is equals to 4 units, 1/5 is equals to 2 units, correct? Now, I want to ask you a question. If this is 2/5, then what is the other side? This side must be 3 units. Make sense or not? So if 2/5 is 4 units, 1/5 is 2 units. Okay, how do I get 1/5 equals to 2 units? If 2/5 is 4 units, 1/5 you just have to divide by 2. So therefore 1/5 equals to 2 units, right? 3/5 must be equals to 6 units. So if I say that white plus black equals to 6 units, and I look up, you realize that black is actually 1 unit only, correct or not? So that means this 360 equals to 5 units. So what we can say is that 5 units is my 360, as you can see over here. All right, so we want to write it down that 5 units equals to 360, 1 unit equals to 72, and we have to read the question. Why? Because once Mr. Greenman is out, you can read the question. The question says, how many buttons are there altogether, right? So altogether, look at the whole thing, look at the model. If this is 5 units, this is 1 unit, that means 6 units, correct? And then I plus 4 units, therefore I will get how many units? 10 units in total. 72 times 10 equals to 720. All right, and that's it. That's all I really want to share with you for remainder of remainder. As you can see, just now I accidentally clicked onto the next slide. But the next thing that I'm going to talk about is equating numerators of fractions for different items. Okay, but with that, I've come to the end of my remainder of remainder question. I hope this is of great value to you. If you like it, you can comment, you can like, you can share. Okay, I leave it to you to decide. Now, but what I want to tell you, or what I want to encourage you to do, is to practice. Okay, every time you don't know, you can come back to this video. All right, here are 3 examples, and these 3 examples are the kind of remainder question that you will get in your exam paper. With that, thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.